All right, hello guys. So my name is Aiden, and if you don't know, I like to work out. So this is what I usually eat after my gym session. It's high on macros, protein, calories, whatever you need, whatever you're looking for. So usually I'll have a pound a day. So I'll eat a half a pound right now, and then about a couple hours I eat the other half. But essentially all it is ground meat, rice, avocado, and whatever you like to add in. I like to add red hot and cheese. So what I have today is ground meat, 80-20, 80% lean, 20% fat. That fat cooks down, so don't really have to worry about the fat. So I like to have a pan, if you can see, and then I usually turn the stove on to 6 or 7 heat so it can heat up fast. And then while I have this cooking, before I start anything, I like to make my rice. So come over here. I have my rice cooker. So I usually cook about a pound of rice. So I have a measuring cup right here. Measure out a pound of rice. Like that. Oh, spilt it. It's okay. And then with a pound of rice, you have to add 2 pounds to 1 pound of rice. So now I would add 2 pounds of water. Not 2 pounds, but 2 lbs. Cups. 2 cups of water. So here's my first cup of water. And here's my second cup of water. So then when I'm done with my meat, when my meat's done cooking, the rice is done cooking. So it lines up perfectly. If you can see. And then I usually start this before I even start cooking my meat. So it's perfectly done. Boom. All right, time to move on to the meat. I cut this first. Take it out. Yes, go this way. Get a napkin for the meat. Okay, so now I have the meat on the pan. I'm going to turn up the heat to a 7. And then you add your favorite seasoning. So this is garlic powder and onion powder in 1 bottle. So I like to add some of this. Add a lot because the taste, it dies down once it cooks. So you don't have to be generous. There's a little salt. And then my pepper. That's good. And then this is the type of spatula I use. Wooden spatula, so it doesn't scrape the pan. And essentially, it's going to need some time to cook. So the first part of this, you want to just cut it up or chop it up. That's good. And then once it starts heating up, it'll be easier to chop down. And then I usually like to add a little more seasoning once it's chopped up, specifically the onion powder and garlic powder. And then while that's cooking, while this is cooking, I usually, if there's dishes inside the sink, I would wash them so I have room for the strainer. But there's nothing really in here, so I'm gonna put that strainer in there. And then, so once the meat's done cooking, I can pour the grease out into the strainer so I don't lose any of the meats. And then onto the avocado. So with the avocado, cut it down the middle. And take out the seed. Then I like to get like a plate or something and a spoon so I can mash up the avocado and add salt and pepper. And then a spoon to scoop out the avocado. I have one right here. So, scoop it out. Put it onto your plate. Okay, there's the first one. Throw that away, and you're on to your second one. Second one's empty. So now, I like to mash it up. I chop at it, so it's not all firm. Camry, I'm making a video, so. Sorry, my sister. Mash it up. And then while I'm doing this, the meat's starting to, cook. So I can hear in the background. So I'm gonna hurry up and chop this up so I can go with the meat. So looks like that. Then I'm gonna add salt and pepper to it, because when you add salt and seasoning to like meat and avocado, the avocado usually likes to soak it up. So it's okay to add more salt and pepper to this, because the avocado will absorb that seasoning. Boom, like that. Salt and pepper on the avocado. Then the meat is starting to brown. So now it's easier for it to be chopped up because it's not so firm. Let that cook more. And then usually so your body can only take around 50 grams of protein every so hours. So eating half of this protein or half of this meat will get you to your 50 grams of protein while exceeding and wasting all the excess protein. So I'll eat a half pound of this meat and then save the other half for later, so I can maximize my protein intake. So I usually get a container like this or a bigger one, and then I put the rice and the meat in here that I don't eat of the other half and put it in the refrigerator. So this is still browning, but once everything's done cooking, I'll have my cooked rice right here, my cooked rice, my brown meat, and my chopped up avocado with salt and pepper. And then I like to add my favorite sauce, Red Hot. So I'll add that to this. And then my favorite part. But if you want your cheese melty, you have to put, as soon as your rice is done cooking, you take it and put it in a container like this, and then put your brown meat on top. And then once everything's steaming hot, you mix your cheese in there and you mix it around, and so the cheese absorbs with everything and it becomes not like a mush, but a great I don't know, becomes cheesy. So I appreciate you watching my video, and I hope, I interested you in making my meal. Thank you.